LA fans, whether you're celebrating a big win or just soaking in that Hard Rock energy, don't miss it. Hard Rock Casino Tejon, opening soon. This is how SoCal plays. The hottest duo in Major League Soccer can't be stopped.
Gideon Son, 2v3, top of the area. Son on the left foot, now the right shot, it is!
Sun Heung-min and Denis Bouanga have led the Black in goal to 4 wins in a row. Can they make it 5 straight Sunday night?
Oh my goodness, these two cannot be stopped!
LAFC hosts Atlanta United. Coverage begins at 5:30 p.m. on the all-new ESPN LA app.
BMO Stadium is absolutely rocking!
Hey guys, Cappy here. When disaster strikes, don't face your insurance company alone. For over 20 years, Avner Gadd has helped homeowners across Southern California fight back when insurers delay, deny, or underpay. From unlivable homes to pushy contractors, don't let fine print or insurance games decide your future. Call 818-917-5256 or visit avnergat.com. Avner Gatt, your claim, our game.
For ESPN LA contest rules, go to espnla.com and click the contest button.
Swing by Lazy Dog Restaurants for their scratch-made meals and their new $15 fireside favorites. Choose from 5 entrees, like fried chicken or shrimp tacos, and get a personal-sized s'mores brownie sundae for dessert. Dine in or take it to go, Monday through Friday. LazyDogRestaurants.com.
And here we go, Thursday, October 2nd, 2025. Let's do it. Rams-Niners, Week 5, Thursday Night Football. This is the Toyota Rams Countdown to Kickoff, live from Cosm, Los Angeles, with Travis Rogers and Sua Cravens. But first, let's hear from the big voice guy.
Just a few days ago at SoFi Stadium, Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, and that Rams high-powered offense made sure it was loud at the Palace in Inglewood when the dagger was delivered to the Indianapolis Colts.
Lobs the ball left side, Tutu's open, over the shoulder, catch 40, Tutu down the left sideline with a vapor trail behind him, 10-5, touchdown LA!
Tonight, in prime time, the hated ones come to town. The NFC West foes that also find themselves at 3-1. It's a battle to the top spot in the division for Thursday Night Football. Our LA Rams host the San Francisco 49ers tonight for Week 5.
Here we go, 2 hours until kickoff at the Palace in Inglewood. Rams-Niners, Week 5, NFL, Thursday.
Hi, this is Matthew Stafford of your Los Angeles Rams, the home of Rams football.
Hi, this is Coach Sean McVay. Whose house? Rams house.
Let's get ready for kickoff.
We get you ready for kickoff right now on the Toyota Rams Countdown to Kickoff.
Driven by your Toyota dealers, official automotive partner of the Los Angeles Rams.
Now live from Cosm, Los Angeles, with Sua Cravens. Here's your host, Travis Rogers.
The first divisional game of the season for the Rams today, Sua. The San Francisco 49ers, who I am still trying not to call the San Francisco Giants over and over again. I cannot look. It's baseball season.
Can't
We're in the playoffs. I'm having a hard time switching gears right here. The Niners are coming into town, and both of them at 3-1. This should be a great game tonight. Very excited to see it. Let's start with this. Obviously, it's Thursday night. We're not here on a Sunday morning at this beautiful Cosmo location here. What is the biggest challenge on having that short week? Is it just the physical of getting your body right in 3 fewer days?
I would say so. Just getting healthy, making sure you're available. The best ability is availability.
Yeah, right.
And when you've got a 3-day turnaround, really 2 because you played the game Sunday, Monday is no longer an off day because the game is so close that you come in and you go through a practice or a light walkthrough, maybe even a light workout.
Yeah.
And then Monday, practice, Tuesday, and then you're back to playing the game on Thursday. So just being healthy.
What does the body feel like? I mean, for regular guys like me, you played in the league, so you can – but, you know, the idea of what your body must feel like on a Monday morning after an NFL game, I'm guessing is not great, right? You're sore.
It's awful.
Okay, it's awful. I'll use your word. So at least when you're awful on a Monday morning, I know I don't have to jump back in there until Sunday afternoon more often than not. But knowing that it's coming up on Sunday, is there any way to speed that process up to try to make yours, or is it just up between the ears? Like, man, whether I feel good or not, I just got to go figure out a way to make plays.
It's both. I know guys that do hyperbolic chambers or they only sleep in that. And I know guys that are just always in the training room getting some type of treatment. Or guys are just living in the weight room. It's everything. What you eat, how many hours of sleep you get, what you're doing in your free time. Even when you're not expected to be at the office or be a football player, you're still expected to do the things that are going to get you ready for Sunday. So it's tough, especially if guys are young. Especially the biggest challenge is these rookies getting used to this.
More for the rookies than for the older guys.
Yes.
Even the older guys who might have a bump or a bruise more than a younger guy.
Because the older guys, they're savvy vets. They've done this, been there. It's nothing new. It's just, it's inconvenient, but it's nothing new. For these rookies, not only am I playing in the NFL, I'm in a different city. I've got 2 days of practice. I have probably been home for 3 days in the last 2 weeks. My mind might not necessarily be all the way in on the game right now.
No golf on a short week.
No. If you are not a kicker or quarterback, I better not see you on the golf course.
Well, the quarterback can get out there, though. Okay. The backups, or could Matthew Stafford go and knock one around if he wanted?
If my quarterback's, Pro Bowler, first team all NFL, he's probably telling me, hey, not making that special teams meeting. I got to keep time.
I'm going to go play a quick 9.
Yeah.
Go
just real quick.
In the morning, for sure. Does the game plan get any different because there's just not enough time to implement maybe what you might do in a full week? And is that any different knowing that you've got a familiar opponent? I know it's the first time they're playing San Francisco this year, but Sean McVay knows Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan knows Sean McVay. Like, those guys have been knocking heads in this division for years now. I would imagine there are not too many surprises that the other guy's going to be able to lay on the other.
You said it. I think the coaches, if you're asking them in the media, there will be gamesmanship as if it's, status quo, nothing different. We're going in with our full available playbook, but in reality, things do change. There's only so much you can look at and film in this short time to see what you did well last week, what you can take from last week's game plan, implement it into this one. So I think more times than not, when you have a shorter week to prep, you're going to tend to run the ball a little more. Now with this Sean McVay Rams offense, that's not a safe bet, but you tend to run the football more on a short week.
Here's what I know about I've been doing Rams pre-half and post for 10 years, okay? Emily and I were talking about this 5 minutes ago. I've learned one thing, but I think you just mentioned a second. The one thing I've known for sure in 10 years, and it took me about 8.5 to finally come to this conclusion, nobody knows anything in the NFL. Every game's close. The second you think, this guy's got it, no. Everybody's pro. Everybody's getting a check. Like you said, coming off that practice squad and getting into the real, the real money of it, you don't want to go back. So guys are going to compete like crazy. So I never think, this is an easy one. They're all hard ones. That's number one. Number two is, never expect Sean McVay to run the ball. that he might. Like, there are moments where he's going to do it, but thinking like, they've unlocked the running game. They're going to lead with the running game. Nope. I'm not going to buy it. I'm not falling for it.
They'll run it for 80 yards, and then when they get within the 10, that's when they start throwing the ball.
Yeah, I've just decided that I'm just going to wait to see what he does because I could not figure out when that running game's coming or not.
The Rams are justified to be frustrated with the running game at times, but there's only one fan base that is even more justified to be more frustrated with their run game, and it's the Baltimore Ravens fan base. Because I just heard today a crazy stat.
Go.
The Baltimore Ravens on first and second down are in last place in running the football on first and second down.
As far as yards gained or attempts?
Attempting to run the football on first or second down. They're in
Did somebody fall down and hit their head and forget that Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson are on the team?
They don't run the football with Derrick Henry on first and second down. They're in last place in both categories in attempts to do so. Not that they don't get 10 yards a carry, but they just don't do it.
We're going to talk about some of the other games that are coming up this weekend, and that's coming up. But since you mentioned it, the Rams will go to Baltimore next week. They're going to go and face Derrick Henry, maybe Lamar Jackson, maybe not. We'll see whether or not he's available. They're 1-3. Now, here's the thing. In the classic words of Bill Parcells, you are what your record says you are. They're 1-3. They're in last place in that division. But their losses are to the Detroit Lions. It's a very good team. Kansas City, a very good team. Buffalo, a very good team.
Yeah.
Is there something wrong with the Baltimore Ravens?
No.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing that I was saying about the Chiefs 2 weeks ago when they were 0-2, and everybody's like, well, they're figured out. The dynasty's over. Mahomes' magic is gone. I'm like, no. They lost to the quote-unquote best team in the NFL.
Right.
And then they followed it up with they lost to, or their first game when they lost to the Chargers, who were playing
in Brazil. Which,
in Brazil,
by the way,
first game of the season, and the Chargers so happen to play the best game I think they'll play this entire season.
As good as I've ever seen Justin Herbert look.
So, it's first week's an imposter, and then you got the best team in the NFL. So you can't go off what it looks like this early in the season. Injuries play a factor. Dynamic of the team plays a factor. If you look at the Eagles right now, even though they are still the best team somewhat, their offense doesn't look like the best. I mean,
they didn't complete a pass in the second half. I keep coming back to Kansas City a year ago, where – hey, they don't look good. Hey, they're winning by a toe in or a toe out. Hey, they're pulling stuff out of their ear. It's like, yeah, but they keep winning.
They're winning.
That's what Philly feels like this year. Like, they had that terrible half against the Rams. Then they had that amazing half against the Rams. They had an amazing half against Tampa, and then they didn't complete a pass in the second half against Tampa and nearly let them back into the game. They're the champs. They've got the skins on the wall. Until somebody beats them, until I see them lose a bunch of games, I'm just going to assume they're going to continue to win a bunch of games.
When are we going to pay attention to the cycle that we've seen take place for the last 3 years and just be like, no, they're going to be there? Like, we've saw the Eagles struggle.
Yep.
Trying to get AJ the ball.
Yep.
Are those personalities going to work out? They're going to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs losing. That offense doesn't look explosive. Chiefs' offense looked bad last year, and we thought we had it figured out, and they're back in the Super Bowl. You got to just – it is what it is. Until you knock these teams off, there's no change in that.
On the Road is driven by Subaru of Glendale, the number one Subaru dealer in America. Find your next Subaru at Subaru of Glendale or at SubaruofGlendale.net. The NFL changed it a few years ago. We got 17 games now instead of 16, so it doesn't break down into perfect quarters the way it used to, but we're essentially at the quarter pole right here coming into Week 5. What do you make of the first quarter of the season in the Rams? Obviously a 3-1 record. I think every team in the league would take 3-1 through their first 4. What have you liked? What have you not liked?
It's as expected. I think we were sitting here before the season started saying if the Rams could look at their first 4 games and go 3-1, perfect start, especially when we assumed Stafford would not be playing or would miss time.
Be limited, yeah.
So 3-1 is perfect. Now, in reality, they should be 4-0. They beat themselves. They should be looking at an undefeated season right now. But you'll take 3-1, and in the next 4 weeks, you get a little help, and you can get time to get healthy as well.
Yeah, you got this one tonight, short week, rivalry game against the Niners, and then you get a little like kind of a mini bye going into Baltimore, and then you got to jump over to London to play the Jags.
Baltimore with no Lamar too.
Baltimore with no Lamar, so it's. You got to get a little lucky. I was talking about this on my podcast, that the scheduling gods, sometimes they favor you, sometimes they don't. And it feels like in this part of the early part of the season, the scheduling gods have kind of looked down on the Rams with a thumbs up.
Not going to complain. You're going to take the wins that come your way. And if you got to go to Baltimore and play a Lamar-less Ravens team, you're not going to complain about that.
Order for pickup on Uber Eats at SoFi Stadium, and you can skip the line so you don't miss any of the action. Use code RAMS to get up to 40% off your next 3 stadium pickup orders of $25 or more. Terms apply. Offer expires February 8, 2026. And speaking of, you're going to take what you can get. The Niners come into this one, shorthanded is not even the right word. Incredibly shorthanded. No Nick Bosa, no Brock Purdy, no Jawan Jennings, no Pearsall, and I'm forgetting somebody. No, George Kittle, right? So they have 5 position guys, skill guys that they're missing. Which of those guys is the guy that the Rams can take advantage of the most? Who's backing up? Is it the Bosa missing?
You would think it's the Bosa missing, but I think that making up for somebody missing on defense is a little easier. You might not make the same amount of splash plays, but filling in that gap is easier than it is to replace someone like the quarterback who they quite literally are going to win or lose the game for you. So I think with, Purdy being out, Jones getting the start, even though I like him, I think the Rams could take advantage of that pressure or heat him up and get him to get a little happy feet.
Yeah, if you have Christian McCaffrey on your fantasy team, I know you're a big fantasy guy. Is this good news? Because he's their number 1 wide receiver coming into this tonight. He's their only weapon of note. DeMarcus Robinson, former Ram that we've seen, he's up in San Francisco now, so a little bit different there. But it's going to be McCaffrey through the air, McCaffrey on the ground, McCaffrey just about any which way you can imagine.
This is bad for McCaffrey owners because a defense can lock in on this run game. There is no threat on the outside as far as I'm concerned. Let's go 1 high safety, crowd the box. Let's put 8 or 9 in the box every time we can, and we dare you to throw the football. We almost want you to throw the ball deep on us because we're not letting McCaffrey beat us tonight.
No, he has not had the typical Christian McCaffrey start to this season. I think just averaging 2.9 yards per carry, so way below what you'd expect from a player of his ability. Coming up next on the Toyota Rams Countdown to Kickoff, we're going to speak with the voice of the Rams, J.B. Long. And a reminder that it is Trucktober at your Toyota dealer. The largest inventory of trucks is here. Explore a Tacoma's legendary off-road capability or a Tundra's powerful towing capacity. We make it easy. See your Toyota dealer today.
Your next Subaru is waiting for you at Subaru of Glendale. Check this out. Lease a new 2025 Subaru Outback Premium CVT for just $289 a month, plus tax for 36 months. One at this payment, VIN S329 2262, MSRP $35,373, $33.99 due at signing. Call 888-855-6434 or check out SubaruofGlendale.net. On approved Tier 1 credit through Subaru Motors Finance. No security deposit. 10,000 miles a year. Model code STD01.
The Lake Show lives here.
You know, there should be no excuse why we can't make things happen on the fly.
LeBron for the dunk.
But I told you time and time again that we won't stop.
Lakers basketball is back. LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and the purple and gold hit the desert for preseason Game 1.
Three-pointer by Luka. That's good.
Lakers Suns. The preseason starts Friday night. Coverage begins at 5:30 p.m.
Your Lakers, your season, your home. ESPN LA. You never know what will happen next on the Sedano and Cap Morning Show.
If you need me, I'll be over here doing play-by-play. Anyway.
Sedano brings the insight, Cap brings the chaos, and somehow it all works.
Stafford back. Stafford looking to his left. Now looks to his right. Stafford hits Davis Allen. No, that wasn't the one either. That was not the right play either. No, that was not the right play.
How about this? Just trust JB and me and MJD. How about that?
Yeah, that's Cappy, giving you Rams play-by-play that literally nobody asked for. And poor Sedano's just trying to keep the show on the rails.
Here's another play to the tight end. This one to Kobe Parkinson. Okay,
no. How about Cappy? I'm
doing play-by-play over here.
I get it.
Should you need me, I'll be
on
over
a
here.
game that's already happened, though.
Real sports talk, big laughs, and then Cap doing whatever that was. The Sedano and Cap Morning Show, weekdays 7 to 9 a.m. on 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app, and the YouTube-only hour from 9 to 10 a.m.
No. How about, Cappy, let's just go.
This is the Toyota Rams Countdown to Kickoff.
On your home of Rams football.
And we're counting you down to kick off Thursday Night Football tonight in L.A. SoFi Stadium, Rams, Niners. Let's slay those stinking Niners. The NFC West foes and move to 4-1 on top of the NFC West. Let's do it tonight.
Hello, this is Puka Nacua of your L.A. Rams. Rams football is back.
You're listening to the Toyota Rams Countdown to Kickoff.
Driven by your Toyota dealers, official automotive partner of the Los Angeles Rams. We make it easy.
Once again,
live from Cosm, Los Angeles, with Sua Cravens.
Back to Travis Rogers.
All right, Rams and Niners coming up in just a little bit under 2 hours. Kickoff coming up at 5:15. The man who will have all of the play-by-play action for you is none other than the voice of the Rams, J.B. Long, who's inside SoFi Stadium right now. How you feeling on a Thursday evening, J.B.?
I'm good. I'm jealous. You guys are at Cosm this afternoon? That's cool.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, Cosm is very cool. I got a little
nice.
Playoff baseball on the TV, JB. It's
got a little Octobox action
going
on right now.
It's not the worst thing in the world, for sure.
I was thinking of you the other night watching with my boys. We were out to a restaurant, saw the Dodgers go back-to-back off green. I was wondering where you were and where you were celebrating.
On that one on the back-to-back I was at my son's house, as a matter of fact, and we were jumping around in his apartment acting like knuckleheads, enjoying the Dodgers win, and they're on to Philadelphia. Obviously, San Francisco is in tonight. I want to start with this question, JB. It's the same one I just asked Sua. Obviously not a perfect quarter the way it used to be with the 16-game season, but let's call the first 4 games of the season the first quarter of the season. What have you seen from the Rams that you really like, and what have you seen through the first quarter that you'd like to see get better?
Well, I think you have to start with the quarterback. Given where we were a month ago, the uncertainty of how it would look for Matthew without a training camp and with the back injury, he's been MVP caliber. And he's been MVP caliber as the best quarterback in the league throwing versus pressure because the pass protection has not been great. He's been one of, if not the best passers downfield. That's helped the Rams stretch defenses vertically, which has been great to see, most notably the 88-yard game winner to Tutu Atwell last week. So that's the first thing that comes to mind. And then I think save for not even 2 full quarters in Philadelphia, but let's just call it a half in Philadelphia, how good has this Chris Shula defense been? I mean, they've made the leap. And I think the more that the offense can turn their metrics into points, right? LA is still underscoring their performance, if that makes sense. They've been efficient. They move the ball. They put up great statistics. They haven't always capped drives and put 7 on the board. But the more that they can tilt the script in favor of the defense, the more that Byron Young and Jared Verse and Josiah Stewart and Braden Fisk and Kobe Turner, these guys are going to be able to go hunt. And the more that they can hunt, I think the more they'll be able to cover up some of the coverage deficiencies, which I think if you were to highlight, to finish my thought, my answer to your question, if there's 2 things that are flagged as concerns that may not be championship caliber yet, it's the offensive line's performance collectively and especially their depth. And then do the Rams have enough talent at corner to go contend with the best teams in the NFC and beyond? That remains to be seen.
JB, the dialogue on Stafford has felt like a roller coaster ride, and we're still early in the season, but I know earlier before the year even started, we're talking about if Stafford's going to be able to get the start with the back injury. We're talking about the Atlanta season, and if they don't play well, the Rams have a high draft pick potentially to be in a market for a quarterback. This might be Stafford's last year, but we've seen a guy kind of turn the clock back and play as good as anybody else around the NFL, and I feel like it leaves room to ask the question now, if Stafford keeps this up, is he the Rams quarterback for the foreseeable future? Because I feel like he's playing like he has a few left in the tank.
I'll give you an answer that you may not expect. I hope that Matthew Stafford is retired next season. Not because he can't still go, not because he's not feeling great, but because the Rams won a Lombardi trophy and he rides off into the sunset on top of the world. I think that is the hope for Matthew Stafford in the 2025 Los Angeles Rams, and especially if they can get a win here tonight, I think they have every right to set their sights that high. So I hear what you're saying, and I just want to speak it into existence that I hope Matthew has some hard decisions to make this February after finishing what he started here in Los Angeles.
Don't forget that you can order for pickup on Uber Eats at SoFi Stadium and skip the line so you don't miss any of the action. Use the code RAMS to get up to 40% off your next 3 stadium pickup orders of $25 or more. Terms apply. Offer expires February 8, 2026. So, obviously, the 49ers coming in shorthanded, JB. No Brock Purdy, no Nick Bosa, no George Kittle, no Juwan Jennings, no Pearsall. If you are Sean McVay, if you are Chris Shula, where are the best opportunities considering they're missing so many of their key guys?
Well, I'll tell you what, I have the utmost respect for Kyle Shanahan, and I'm guessing that he could take you, me, Sua, and Christian McCaffrey and squeeze 24 points out of this game. And he'll probably have 2 or 3 tight ends running up the seam completely uncovered and unstoppable. That's just his way, and I'm happy to be proven wrong, but you're going to have to tackle C-Mac about 20 times tonight, at or near the line of scrimmage, to really make them come out of their shell and put Mac Jones on Front Street. I think they can win up front. I don't think either trench is as good as we've been accustomed to seeing from San Francisco. A lot of their bills have come due, unfortunately. They no longer have the best bargain in sports at the quarterback position, and you really see that and feel that in their roster. I think many of us believe that they would have to have one of, if not the best drafts in the entire National Football League to keep up the clip that they were setting throughout the Shanahan era. And so far, these rookies have made splash plays. They've shown promise, but they are not impacting winning in the way that I think San Francisco ultimately will have to see their class of 2025 impact winning if they're going to be a playoff team, if they're going to compete for the NFC West. Now, all that said, I go back to the draft, the summer, camp, all of it. I've said all along, the Rams better beat San Francisco twice this year, because otherwise I don't know who will. Jacksonville did them a favor last week, but those are going to be few and far between. The 49ers have the softest schedule in the National Football League because they finished 4th in this division and because of the crossover divisions that the NFC West plays. So, yes, they're 3-1. They could easily be 4-0, and if they somehow get out of here at 4-1, it's going to be very, very difficult to overcome San Francisco, wounded as they are, because they not only will have 4 wins, but 3 of those would be against the other division runners. San Francisco will have beaten L.A., Arizona, and Seattle in the first 5 weeks.
One of the biggest benefits of having a guy like Brock Purdy on your team was because he was cheap at one point. That is no longer the case. And with injuries continuing to creep in, do you feel like, because I feel like this, but do you think that the seat is beginning to get a little warm in the Brock Purdy era? I feel like the 49ers have missed their window as far as Super Bowl goals. When do you think, or what do you think their expectations for Brock Purdy are this season?
So I'm of a little bit different mind. I may be in the minority. I think Purdy is one of the 10 best quarterbacks in football. I think he deserves the contract he got. I think the 49ers without Brock Purdy are in a world of trouble. And that's not just true of this moment right now. I think it was true last year and the year before. I think he did not get enough credit for his contribution to their championship runs. And I have no problem with the total sum they gave him, the way they amortized it, the annual cash flow. I have no problem with any of that. I think he's worth every penny and probably gave them a bargain. That being said, none of his receivers or tight ends playing tonight caught a pass for this team last year. That's how much churn there's been at that position and how much injuries have weighed on the skill group in San Francisco. So tonight will not give evidence to anything I just said, or maybe it will if the Rams wipe the floor at SoFi Stadium with the 49ers and Mac Jones shows just how valuable Brock Purdy is to the Niners operation.
JB, I want to ask about X factors in a second, but I want to go back to what you said about Purdy being a top 10 quarterback because, you and I have been talking during every Rams game for the last 10 years, and that's very high praise coming from you. That's something that you don't typically put guys in categories like that. What is it about him that you like so much?
Since the loss to Baltimore, he's not been himself, and I don't know how much of that is pain or performance, but let's just freeze time before that national embarrassment against the Ravens last year. Mm-hmm. I think in and outside the pocket, he's exactly what you would want in a McVay, Shanahan-like system. I thought he maximized his weapons. I think he can make all the throws on the field, and I think his mobility is underrated. He's the perfect blend of mobile enough to play inside and then pop the pocket, but play within structure and to think in lockstep with a chess mastermind like a Kyle Shanahan. So I think because of the talent around him and because of the coach he plays for, I just don't believe he got the appropriate amount of credit for the MVP caliber football he was playing for a good swath of time before this recent lull. I think he'll be back. I think he's going to be a factor. I don't think for many years the Rams will be glad that the 49ers paid Brock Purdy.
So let's jump to the X factors. What are some of those we might be looking for today's game against the Niners?
Well, I think it's got to be Puka related because of how much of a force he has been for this team through 1 month. And the stress right now that the Rams are putting on opposing defensive coordinators is who runs with Puka Nacua? How do you defend him? Because the top corner inevitably has to be over the top of Devontae Adams because Adams is every bit as good and because Adams will at least consistently align at or near the numbers. So if you want to devote your top corner, in this case Diamador Lenore for San Francisco, to following Puka, good luck because you're going to burn him in the box and you're going to be trying to tackle the run and you're going to be doing a whole bunch of things that a true number one corner does not want to do on a down-in, down-out basis. Therefore, the Rams are getting mismatches of all kinds on Puka Nacua, and it's no wonder that he leads the NFL in receiving by 8 catches and 101 yards because he is getting spammed, and I understand why they're spamming him. The reason why I bring that up as an X factor is because who plays the most in the slot for San Francisco? A 5'9" rookie who's a $180, Upton Stout. They reached for him probably as a top 100 pick. I think he's got a bright future. I think he's put some good tape down already. But if that's the matchup for Puka Nacua and the Rams tonight, I think he's going to have 12 catches and 130 yards and 2 touchdowns.
The Rams X Factors brought to you by the Los Angeles International Airport, where change is in the air. Learn more at lawa.org/ESPN.
JB, we were asked last week if Puka were to continue to keep this type of production up, he could be in consideration for an MVP. Do you think there's an actual chance that a receiver, if Puka were to continue doing his Triple Crown winner, we saw one last year that did not get it.
Cup a few years ago.
Cup as well. But do you think that Puka could actually win an MVP if he were to keep this production up?
No shot for lots of reasons. The two that come to mind are if Saquon couldn't even get a sniff last year, then I don't think we should have a serious conversation about a non-quarterback for quite some time. Yeah. And then if Puka is going to maintain this pace, think of the year that Matthew Stafford is going to have. And so I'm not even sure that he could win MVP from his own roster. I think the 37-year-old in the twilight of his career, who had never been so much as a playoff winner when he arrived in Los Angeles, could maybe go out with some MVP buzz. That would probably be how that good best-case scenario for the Los Angeles Rams play out. But I understand the question because who's impacted winning more than Puka Nacua? Who's the Jenga piece for the Los Angeles Rams? It's probably still Stafford, but you can make a strong case for Puka.
Yeah, I believe that if the MVP is simply a quarterback's award, there needs to be – I know we have Offensive Player of the Year, but no, there needs to be an equivalent award to MVP that quarterbacks can't win.
Ineligible.
No, I think that's well said, and I think that's why Cooper's year was special and why Saquon's was last year. It's a shame that NFL Offensive Player of the Year has kind of become that de facto award placeholder for the non-quarterback, but that's okay. Real ones know, and we couldn't think any more highly of Puka.
All right, one more quick one before we let you go, JB. Byron Young, the NFC Defensive Player of the Month, 7 tackles for loss, 7 quarterback hits, 5 sacks, 1 forced fumble. Just give me 30 seconds, a minute or so of how good he's been through the first 4 games of this year.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's a more improved Ram, and I think a portion of that honor belongs to Jared Verse just because of the very nature of the way that he tilts attention in math, but that's okay because we need them both to be at their best. And even though his sack per game pace is probably what won him that award, the play that stands out to me is when he just tracked down Daniel Jones last week. He changed the calculus for the rest of that game by being able to turn, run, and sprint and track him down on the sideline. And when you have that level of athleticism opposite Jared Verse, I don't know what you do as an offense because they're not just sack artists, they're setting hard edges. And I think Josiah Stewart has really fit in nicely as a rookie with those two.
JB Long will be on the call. The Rams and the Niners kickoff coming up at 5:15. JB, as always, thanks a bunch.
All right, I'm going to get a Puka for MVP call in tonight at some point when he does something special for you, Sua. Let's start that. Start that up.
Never say never. Thanks, JB. Appreciate you. All right, let's talk a little about Prize Picks coming up in just 1 second. But coming up next, we're going to go around the rest of the NFL, get you all ready for Week 5, which starts tonight here at SoFi Stadium. The 49ers and the 3-1 Los Angeles Rams. It's all coming up next on the Toyota Rams Countdown to Kickoff on 710 ESPN. And now it's time to talk about Prize Picks. And Sue and I, okay, you ready, Sue? Here we go. This is Prize Picks. All you have to do is pick between 2 and 6 players, look at their stat projections, and if you get it right, you can win big. Matthew Stafford, more or less than 236.5 yards passing today.
More.
Okay, more. Lock it in. Christian McCaffrey, more or less than 61.5 yards rushing the ball today.
More.
More. We just played Prize Picks. It is that easy. It is that quick. Locked in 20 will get you 60. So download the app today and use the code TRAV to get up to $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's the code TRAV, T-R-A-V, to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right.
Every Sunday starts the same. Energy's high, plays are drawn, and the team's locked in. At Vista Paint, we bring that same focus to all your projects. For nearly 70 years, we've been the go-to for Southern California pros and DIYers alike. Because when you want reliable coverage, trusted advice, and no surprises, you don't take chances with your materials. From prep to finish, we make sure your project looks great and holds up. Game day or work day, start with the paint that shows up ready. Vista Paint, local, proven, built to perform.
Football fans, this is DeMarco Farr, and let me tell you, I thought I was in pretty good shape until I stepped into a UFC gym. Man, that workout is no joke. They've got boxing, kickboxing, and strength training. You don't have to be a fighter to love it. Anybody can jump in, get a great workout, and feel the results. They even have programs for youth and workouts for the entire family. And my favorite part, the recovery room. That's where I recharge after going all out in my workouts. Check out the UFC gym for yourself and train like I did. Trust me, you'll feel like a champ.
Ever feel like the road is out to... Thankfully, Hyundai is always working to ensure it doesn't, with over 130 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. IIHS Top Safety Awards include Top Safety Pick and Top Safety Pick Plus awards to Hyundai vehicles from 2006 to 2025.
Right now, for a limited time, get 1.99% APR on the Hyundai Tucson or the Tucson Hybrid. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end November 3rd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
You can't fake greatness. That's why 1800 Tequila has built it through generations of obsession with the details. It's the mindset that wins championships, and the same mindset behind every bottle of 1800. That's how we became the world's most awarded tequila. So when the final whistle blows, raise a glass worthy of victory. 1800, obsessed with taste.
Official tequila partner of the LA Rams.
1800 Tequila. Proximo, Jersey City, New Jersey, 21 and older. Please drink responsibly.
Counting you down to Week 5 Thursday Night Football in Inglewood.
Touchdown, LA!
Hi, this is Jay Vice of your LA Rams. The Rams play here.
You're listening to the Toyota Rams Countdown to Kickoff.
The Rams, the 49ers.
And we're counting you down to kickoff. Rams Niners. The fearsome Rams defense has to keep it coming. Bring the heat on those stinking San Francisco 49ers.
Ready to sling it again here. Heaves from his heels. Jump ball. Picked again. Cam Curl calls game.
Tonight, in primetime, the hated ones come to town. Counting you down to Week 5 Thursday Night Football in Inglewood.
Driven by your Toyota dealers. Official automotive partner of the Los Angeles Rams. We make it easy.
Once again, live from Cosm, Los Angeles, with Sua Cravens.
Back to Travis Rogers.
Sua, a long and distinguished NFL streak is coming to an end tonight that I don't know if you're aware of, but it's very important to your co-host here.
Okay.
You ready? It's very important.
Okay.
The Amazon pregame show will not feature a 2-second appearance by yours truly. The last at least 4, Emily and I were trying to figure out, 4 or so times the Rams have hosted a Thursday night game. My ugly mug has been on the pregame show leading into it, and because of the schedule switch, they got Sedano and Cap in there, and my Amazon streak comes to an end at 4 games. It's devastating.
Where it was covering the Rams,
yeah, they would come in and they'd shoot the show for a little bit.
Films comes in, big old camera.
Did they win? Cool Did they win all 4 of those games?
I think so.
So if they lose tonight, you're directly responsible.
Well, I'm not. It's whoever produced the segment.
That's true.
Tonight. Look for potentially another appearance from Steve.
Oh.
Maybe a good luck charm.
So Steve is in the house tonight. He comes to all the games.
So Mason is in the house. Steve Mason's in the house.
Oh, we saw him last time.
And potentially, if you're going to the game, look for maybe another appearance from Steve. From Steve Mason with white hair.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
it just said Steve. That's
just Steve. That's all it was. Just Steve. Don't forget, you can order for pickup on Uber Eats at SoFi Stadium, and you can skip the line so you don't miss any of the action. Use code RAMS to get up to 40% off your next 3 stadium pickup orders of $25 or more. Terms apply. Offer expires February 8, 2026. So this is the first week of the NFL season where there are teams on a bye, so we don't get the full 16-game schedule, but there are obviously a lot of games that we can get into right now. The top games of this week are brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times. Let's start with the second game of the weekend, the early morning game that the Rams will be a part of coming up 2 Sundays from now when they got Jacksonville, but the Vikings are playing the Browns in London. Dylan Gabriel is going to be starting at quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Joe Flacco takes a seat, and if you were going to devise a way to screw up 3 quarterbacks, I think the Browns are nailing it. Because the old guy is, he was put in a position, no chance for him to do it.
No.
Dylan Gabriel will have 1 incompletion, and it's like, they should put Shadur in. It's going to last that long. And then if Shadur comes in with his pantomime act and all that other stuff, what a disaster.
They're not going to put Shadur in to avoid the leaky ship that's already halfway underwater.
Yeah,
it's already
the water's
hit the
coming
iceberg.
over the bow.
The band is already playing and slowly sinking, and they're just hanging.
They're going
off
out like gentlemen.
Yes. They're not going to play Shadur anytime soon. No matter how bad Gabriel plays.
I was
and
just
I'm hoping.
Say, so what if he's terrible? What if he goes out there and throws a bunch of picks?
I'm hoping he's not. I'm hoping Gabriel goes out there and balls so that can at least buy the Browns some time. Because if Gabriel goes out there and stinks it up, they're going to go back to Flacco, who's going to do what he's going to do.
Yeah.
And then it raises the question and starts the timer. So when does Shadur get in?
Yeah.
Which now turns into a completely different frenzy.
So you think there's a halfway station when they go back to Flacco before they go back to Shadur Sanders?
Yes. They're not going to collect 200. They're not going to go to Mexico. They're going to go back to jail. They're going to go and start Flacco again. Because, again, you're going to hear me say it all the time. GMs do not like to admit when they're wrong.
Yeah.
And if I now bench the old guy to start the draft pick, to bench the draft pick, to start the old guy again, it's not looking like – I know what I'm doing.
What a mess.
Do you guys mention that they're playing the Steelers the game after that at Pittsburgh when Pittsburgh had a bye week? So you're doing in London, which will probably be a failure for Dylan Gabriel, and then you're having him play at Pittsburgh, a divisional opponent, and off of Pittsburgh's bye, which they never lose.
And on top of that, the Vikings stayed in Europe. They didn't leave Ireland and go back and fly there. No, they just went straight to London. So they're adjusted. There is no getting acclimated with what they got going on right now.
Well, and again, we don't talk about third-string quarterbacks very often on this show. We don't talk about third-string quarterbacks really ever, except for Shedeur Sanders is a very unique case.
Or, oh, no, they have a third-string quarterback in.
Right. It's in that context almost always. But we do talk about him because he's a Sanders, because of the draft story about him, dropping on draft day unexpectedly, or at least unexpectedly by, a fan's perspective. What did you make of him doing his mime act to the press the other day?
I didn't like it. I understand why he did it, because Rex Ryan had a wild take about him. And come to find out, half of it was not true. Well, Shedeur, there's videos and pictures of him sitting in the front of the meetings, asking questions, doing all the things Rex saying he needs to be doing. So Rex was probably talking out of his what. Just being a good old boy for, the Shield, and that's fine. But when there's pictures and Twitter and fan bases these days, you got to make sure you come correct, because the people love to prove somebody wrong. But at the same time, I feel like Shedeur should have just not answered at all. Like if that's the
could he not have just, guys, I'm not talking today.
If that's the stance you want to take, don't give them something by not giving them something.
Yeah.
Just come in there and be like, I'm the third-string quarterback. I'm not sure why I'm being asked questions, because I'm just trying to get better and learn the playbook. Y'all should ask Dylan Gabriel, who has been congratulations. He's the starter.
Go ask him.
I'm here to help him in any way that he needs to, and I'm sure he has a lot on his plate. So that's probably the guy y'all should talk to. God bless. At that point, they have to now dig and be like, yeah, but what did you think of the decision? Yeah. They have to make themselves look like you're trying to stir something up, but then at that point you can answer as needed. But doing the pantomime thing, you just gave them another reason to talk about you.
Before we move on to other games, I just want to point this out that Sarah Barshop for ESPN just tweeted out that there are going to be 2 inactives that we didn't necessarily expect, but Rob Havenstein and Tyler Higbee are both inactive for tonight, along with Bo Limmer, Deshaun Johnson, and Stetson Bennett.
Ooh, does Fergie get a start?
Yeah, we'll talk about the Havenstein aspect of that, because that dude's like the Terminator. He's out there every single week for the last decade or so. You just take him for granted. So yeah, we'll circle back to Rob Havenstein coming up in a minute. Let's move on to this game here. The Texans at the Ravens. We talked about them a minute ago. The Ravens are 1-3, which is never good. But when you look at the 3 losses, Buffalo, Detroit, and I'm blanking on the third one who beat them, Kansas City. Those are 3 teams that, if any of them ended up in the Super Bowl, I don't think anybody would be shocked at it. The Texans are a different beast, right? If they lose to the Texans in Baltimore, is that the point where you go, hey, there's something wrong with this group?
Again, no, because Lamar's not playing. So you don't know exactly what you're looking at, because you don't have your best foot forward. Now, that's not an excuse, because you're at home and you have Derrick Henry, and supposedly you're supposed to have one of the best defenses in the NFL, which we know that's not the case right now. They're getting absolutely torched on the back end. But no excuse made. You need to win at home. But even if you don't, you still don't know, because Lamar's not in the game.
Yeah, and you got the Rams going to Baltimore the week after that, so it's one to definitely keep your eye on. The Raiders are on the road. They're taking on the team that the Rams played last week, the Indianapolis Colts, and I think we'll have a better idea of the Colts might be good. You know what I mean? Like, watching them last week, they did not look like a team that was getting lucky. They did not look like a team that was just kind of doing some stuff that everybody's going to figure out. They looked like a pretty good football team. The Rams did get lucky. I agree. The Raiders, on the other hand, look like they're the Raiders all over again. I was big on the Pete Carroll hire. I thought it was a really good idea. Hasn't really translated. I was big on the Geno Smith signing. I thought that just getting some professional play there would be, beneficial to just kind of calming the waters there. He's thrown 7 interceptions through the first 4 games of the season. He hasn't been very good. Are the Raiders still the Raiders, Sua?
It's looking like it, and I feel like the Raiders could have won 9 to 10 games this year, but Geno Smith, he's turning the ball over. Defense is letting them down right now. I think Genty had 3 touchdowns last week. And
they still lost.
Still lost. And you lost to a Bears team that's supposed to be down right now and trying to figure out their offense. And it's just there's a lot of questions right now for Vegas. I think that defense, you got to just revamp that entire defense. You got to sign some vets. You got to do well in the draft. But I feel like it might be another down year for Vegas.
Let's talk about one more here. The Washington Commanders come to SoFi. They're going to take on the Chargers this weekend. Jaden Daniels back in the lineup. He's going to play for Washington. And, of course, the Chargers coming off their first loss of the season to a winless previously New York Giants team. Jackson Dart making his first start in that game. Did the Chargers charger, or is it just the NFL and sometimes you're going to lose a game?
No, they chargered. They chargered big time, especially against the Giants. That's a game you cannot lose. If you'd ask anybody, any betting man, any sane man.
Rookie quarterback.
Chargers, how they're playing right now. Justin Herbert versus Dart. Give me Herbert every time. And, Dart, what a great way to cement your name on a season and your debut. But the Chargers charged it for sure.
All right, let's talk about that Rob Havenstein update. He is inactive for today's game. Who's going to fill in for him, what it may do to the Rams offense, and Sean McVay. That is all coming up next on the Toyota Rams Countdown to Kickoff on 710 ESPN.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here, KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station.
Math is pretty simple. Low prices plus big trade value equals huge savings for you at Ocean Subaru of Fullerton. Come in today to trade and upgrade your vehicle or just sell it and get paid. We just crunch the numbers and you win either way. For complete details, visit OceanSubaruOC.com. The math is simple. More for your trade and less for your next ride at Ocean Subaru.
It's all here at Ocean Subaru.
710 ESPN, the home of the purple and gold, and the home of Mason and Ireland.
Luka Doncic.
I'm great. You guys?
You go through this body transformation. I did too. I gained 15 since the end of the season. Do you have any advice for me?
I don't.
You're a lost cause. It's over for me.
Mason and Ireland, weekdays at noon on 710 ESPN, the ESPN LA app, and on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles.
Yo, I'm your old basketball. Haven't seen you out on the courts in a while. Why not pass me over to Goodwill? Donating me helps Goodwill's mission to provide career training and support services right here in the community. And that's a slam dunk. Donate today. Hey, I got next.
To find your nearest Goodwill locations and to learn more about our mission, please visit Goodwill.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
The Volvo XC90 is equipped with 7-seat versatility for surprise team practice carpools, dynamic storage for when quick stops at the antique market turn into a whole new living room set, with Google built in for when you choose the road more exciting, and innovative technology and advanced safety features for all your precious cargo. The Volvo XC90, designed for life. Visit volvocars.com/US to learn more. Google is a trademark of Google LLC.
Counting you down to Week 5, Thursday Night Football in Inglewood. The Rams, the 49ers.
This is the Toyota Rams Countdown to Kickoff.
Driven by your Toyota dealers, official automotive partner of the Los Angeles Rams. We make it easy.
Our 3-1 Rams host the 3-1 Niners. Make some noise tonight at SoFi.
We count you down to kickoff, and remember, you can hear every moment of the game tonight on the all-new ESPN LA app. Listen to the Rams in crystal clear digital audio. Just download the ESPN LA app in your app store or Google Play. Download, tap, bam! Then you click the Rams game day tile, and you've got Rams football in your ear.
Once again live from Cosm, Los Angeles with Sua Cravens. Back to Travis Rogers.
Everything worked out, Sua. So tonight, the Rams and the Niners at SoFi Stadium. Kickoff coming up just a little bit more than an hour from right now at 5:15. And I don't have to have one eye on the Dodger game tonight. The Dodgers took care of business last night. They beat the Reds 2 in a row. They are on their way to Philadelphia. And looking a little update right here, the Cubs are beating the Padres in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2 on, 1 out. The Cubs are up to bat, and they have a 2-0 lead. So Dodgers, Phillies, and then the winner of this takes on the Brewers.
But you don't seem too happy about this. You're worried about the Cubs advancing?
No, that one, I would like to see the Padres out because I think that they think they can beat the Dodgers, which is scary. They haven't beat them in a minute, but the Phillies are the ones that have my full attention. The Phillies are really, really good. And listen, look, let's enjoy what happened last night. I can enjoy getting ready for Shohei tomorrow. Tonight is about the Rams and the 49ers. We just found out a minute ago that Rob Havenstein is going to be inactive. Of course, Rob Havenstein, the longtime right tackle for the Rams. He is the last of the St. Louis Rams that is still not only here, but I think he's the last St. Louis Ram to be in the league. Now, Johnny Hecker. Johnny Hecker is the other one that may be there. Warren McClendon obviously steps up right there, but Take me through what happens that right before a game where a guy is down, especially a guy that is as experienced and as good as Rob Havenstein is, and now all of a sudden you have a backup player at an important spot.
Well, obviously it hurts to lose your starting right tackle. That's a lot of trust and experience right there. Yeah, you don't have to worry. You don't have to question if that guy's. You can just know that's a scratch. He's going to take care of his business.
Yeah.
Now that you kind of have to switch that up, the only saving grace is that it's not your left tackle. It's not your blind side. Your main guy is protecting the blind side of your quarterback. A lot of boots are going to be ran where that guy has to be really good. So you're not necessarily stressed as much, but it will affect the run game a little bit.
Yeah, and I wonder, too, because the two tackles have held up reasonably well so far through the first 4 weeks. Where they've had some trouble is in the middle of the line. You know, we saw that Avila got injured early in the season. You go to Justin Dedich at that point. Kevin Dotson has kind of been in and out, that he's been dealing with some nagging injuries as well. Coleman Shelton's held down the center spot, but you're already testing your depth in the middle of the line, and now as you get further out towards the edges, you're adding depth pieces there. That puts a lot on Matthew Stafford's plate to make sure to know exactly where that pressure can come from. At least if I knew where it is here, maybe you can deal with it. But now if I know it might be here and it might be over there, how much more challenging is that?
Well, thankfully, the Rams have Stafford, and you can switch things up on the fly. So I think you'll see a lot of play action, a lot of quick game early, just to see what the 49ers are trying to do before the Rams start going with the deep shots down the field, because they got to see how much time they're going to have in the pocket with all these changes up front.
You mentioned the deep shots down the field, and I did not think that I would see this under Sean McVay, but here we are. Through the first 4 weeks of the season, the Rams have run 59 plays for 10 yards or more. That's number one in the NFL. This has usually been kind of methodical, move the ball down the field, and now they're hitting big plays. The biggest was obviously Tutu Atwell last. Is this all because Devontae Adams is just on the field, that he opens everything up? Just his presence alone changes that?
Yes, I've been saying it since he's gotten here. As a defense, it's impossible to limit an offense that has two number ones on the outside. If you have an offense that has weapons like that, I can no longer dedicate additional resources to the run game to stop the run, which then allows guys like Kyron Williams and Blake Corum to get a carry that goes for 7 yards, 8 yards, as we've seen when either one is in the game. It's just you're stretching the defense to the point where I have to pick and choose the poison, and if it's up to me, I'm going to make you run the football because I know you don't want to, but on top of that, you have some of the best receivers in the NFC.
And Tyler Higbee also down today, correct, Emily? So Tyler Higbee is also inactive, which means more opportunities for Davis Allen, more opportunities for Colby Parkinson, and maybe an opportunity for Terrence Ferguson if he's up with a chance for him to make an impact for the first time. Because they spread it out over 4 guys last week, but they did throw 4. They had 6 completions to tight ends a week ago. Not like one guy ate a ton, but they did use that position differently than we've seen them use it through the first 3 games of the year.
Yeah, this offense is at its best when it's using the tight ends. Yeah, you just don't know who's getting the ball, especially when they go 12 personnel. They got 2 tight ends in the game. They've got both receivers. It's a lot to game plan for. I'm interested to see if Fergie is going to get in the game and get his first catch.
A positive thing, too, is that, Puka's maybe getting a ton of receptions, a ton of targets, but he's not getting a ton of touchdowns. And they're spreading it out. When they get in that red zone, if they are going to score a touchdown or if they have these long touchdown passes, they're not necessarily always going to Puka. That adds like a little bit of variability to that offense.
So let's put the 2 pieces together. You don't have Higbee. You don't have Rob Havenstein. So that tight end that can support a tackle that maybe, especially an experienced player like Higbee. Parkinson's been here a minute. Allen's been here a minute. But now you have backup on backup potentially right next to each other. How big of a factor could that be?
It's big. It changes a lot of your run scheme. It changes a lot of those bunch formations that Sean McVay loves to use. Bunch you up to expand you. And if you're a defense knowing that, hey, they're missing some guys right here and they might not have a ton of time to pass the ball, I know it's going to be quick game, and I don't necessarily might not pressure you anymore. I might go zone and know that you're trying to get that ball out quick and try to get an easy interception. Like we know Stafford likes to test defenses early. Maybe I can get an easy one on you early and get you in your head a little bit.
Let's talk a little Rams. Did you know? Rams fans, let's rewind to October 6, 1999, when the greatest show on turf finally ended a 17-game losing streak to the San Francisco 49ers. Kurt Warner. 5 touchdown passes. Marshall Faulk racked up 133 yards, and the Rams won big. They win 42-20. All time, the Niners do lead the series, but that night in St. Louis, the Rams flipped the script in style. And That's This Game in Rams History. And did you know that This Game in Rams History is presented by LA Care? Life is what you make it. Whatever you're making, make it matter with LA Care Health Plan. And did you know that healthcare starts at $0? Visit lacare.org to learn more. Let's go back to Puka for a second, Sua. This is something that I harped on for a while, seasons worth, with Cooper Kupp. I loved Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp was physical. He was tough. He was dynamic. He was competitive. Like all of these wonderful traits. But dude took a lot of hits. Yep. He took a lot of punishment. They used him a lot the way that Puka is being used right now, who is that same description that I just said. Would he be better served to, hey, look, I'm not to, avoid contact, but when it is, I can get down and get out when the opportunity presents itself.
I think Puka's a little more durable than Cooper Kupp was, and is a bigger frame, and he can take a little bit more punishment, but that doesn't necessarily mean he should. And I think that as his career progresses and he gets to that ripe golden age that Devontae is at, he's going to say, I need me a guy like me when I was younger.
Can you change it? Like, you just what is in his DNA?
It's in his DNA.
The way he's been playing football his whole life, to say, hey, listen, when you're going over the middle and the first guy hits you and the second guy, it's okay to not take the third and the fourth hit. Yeah. Like, it's all right to get, if it's a first down, let's put our face in there and go. But if we've already, let's be a little strategic.
I'm okay with 24 yards, Puka. 26 is not going to change anything.
My problem is 24 and a half.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if we got 24, that's that extra half where two more hits come in. Or that's the part with him that I just like, oh, man, because he is killing it. We heard John mention it during Crosstalk. If he gets a chance, he could be the first guy to have 50 catches through a team's first 5 games in the history of this league. There's been some pretty good wide receivers in this league. To be the first to do anything is pretty remarkable.
If you don't think Sean McVay isn't aware of that record.
You think he's going to feed him?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he'll just to be like, we did it.
Yeah.
That was my offense.
We've seen McVay when he smells something in the air, right? When he knows there's an opportunity for a player to do something, historic, legendary. He's going to try to make it happen. He's not afraid. That's not hey, we're going to just, if the flow of the game happens, but it's one of those, we're going to see if we can get something done over there.
Yeah, and on Prize Picks, I took all the overs on Stafford, Puka, and Devontae. And with promo code Travis, you can get $50 off your lineup when you sign up.
Listen to this man. Listen to this man. He knows what's up.
So I have some news that a very special guest has arrived to SoFi.
Oh?
Peter Herbstreit.
Oh,
the doggo,
the
dog cute little
is there.
boy is going to be at in the booth with Herbstreit tonight. So he looks like he's enjoying SoFi.
Does he have his credential around his neck?
He does actually have his credential
he usually does.
And the bandana. Yeah. And he's chewing up some gear on the sidelines. And then also, this is the more serious news, but still encouraging and cool. Byron Young was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Month this month. That's incredible.
This is how he did it, Sua. It's 7 tackles for loss, 7 quarterback hits, 5 sacks, and 1 forced fumble.
5 sacks already?
Leads the whole league. He leads the entire NFL with 5 sacks along the way. And like we were talking about with Devontae, opening it up for everybody and taking nothing away from Byron Young, who JB said he thinks he's the most improved Ram from last year to this year.
Verse is having a season.
There you go.
Yeah.
This is directly related to Jared Verse, yes?
Yeah, this is a knee-jerk reaction from how the hell do we stop Verse? And now Young's like, oh, you're going to single me? Watch this. Watch this.
Does he respond? I mean, he's got 2 sacks, and we saw what he did to Bertolini last week where he came up the middle. That was the rare time in the press box where it wasn't like a catch or a throw, but something that had happened in the middle of the offensive line. That was something else.
No white tees in the club. When you're 300-plus pounds and both of your hoofs are sky-high in the air and you're just flat on your back, you know you just got. And he even swan dived over him to try to make that play.
It was a Superman moment for sure. The NFL is back at Cosm, where Sua and I are right now. You can watch NFL games in shared reality at Cosm and feel the energy of game day in the Dome and in the Hall. This season, before every Rams home game, hang out with the ESPN LA, me, Sua, Morales comes by every once in a while. The Rams pregame show live from the Hall at Cosm. And if you have a ticket to the game, you can come on in here for free. Catch all the energy on massive wall-to-wall LED displays in the Hall. And don't miss out on Cosm's signature menu of local food, Great cocktails and beers throughout the venue. To learn more, visit Cosm.com. I'm looking at a little flatbread pizza in front of Sua. Em's got some chicken going on as well. Yeah, I was going to say, you got through that pretty quickly, my friend.
Got after it a little bit.
What's on that thing?
We got some red onions, some barbecue chicken pizzas, some cilantro.
Not a bad way to do it as well. Don't forget, you can order for Uber Eats at SoFi Stadium. You can skip the line so you do not miss any of the action. Use the code RAMS to get up to 40% off your next 3 stadium visits of $25 or more. Terms apply. Offer expires February 8, 2026. Rams and Niners coming up. More to get to on the Toyota Rams Countdown to Kickoff on 710 ESPN.
It's Trucktober at your Toyota dealer. Choose from the biggest inventory of the year of new Tacomas and Tundras with the biggest savings. Get a low APR or a great lease on the trucks with a legendary reputation for toughness, performance, and reliability. So hurry in today and take advantage of special Trucktober savings on a new Tacoma or Tundra, only at your Toyota dealer. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
Come spend a night with Daryl Hall. Saturday, November 1st, Fantasy Springs Resort Casino. A rare, up-close evening with the singer-songwriter. A musical journey through his entire career. Featuring his special guest, Glenn Tilbrook, the voice of Squeeze. Tickets on sale now at FantasySpringsResort.com or 760-342-5000.
Hey, football fans, ready to take your fitness game to the next level? At UFC Gym, you don't have to be a pro to train like one. With classes like HIIT, boxing, kickboxing, and strength training, there's something for every level, all in a high-energy, team-driven environment. So whether you're chasing more power, more endurance, or just more you time, UFC Gym has your back. Suit up and get in the game. Visit UFCGym.com and kick off your fitness journey today.
Downey Hyundai is receiving hundreds of new vehicles every month. Why? Because they've been a sales leader in the Western region all year. That means a tremendous selection of the hottest Hyundais, like the Tucson, Santa Fe, Sonata, or the all-electric Ioniqs. Every new Hyundai comes with America's best warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty with the Hyundai Owner Assurance Program. Get to Downey Hyundai today or online at DowneyHyundai.com. More cars, more deals, less hassle. Downey Hyundai.
And here we go, Thursday, October 2nd, 2025. Let's do it. Rams-Niners Week 5 Thursday Night Football. This is the Toyota Rams Countdown to Kickoff, live from Cosm, Los Angeles, with Travis Rogers and Sua Cravens. But first, let's hear from the big voice guy.
Just a few days ago at SoFi Stadium, Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, and that Rams high-powered offense made sure it was loud at the Palace in Inglewood when the dagger was delivered to the Indianapolis Colts.
Lobs the ball left side, Tutu's open, over the shoulder, catch 40, Tutu down the left sideline with a vapor trail behind him, 10-5, touchdown LA!
Tonight, in primetime, the hated ones come to town. The NFC West foes that also find themselves at 3-1. It's a battle to the top spot in the division for Thursday Night Football. Our LA Rams host the San Francisco 49ers tonight for Week 5.
Here we go, 1 hour until kickoff. Rams-Niners Week 5 NFL Thursday.
Hi, this is Matthew Stafford of your Los Angeles Rams, the home of Rams football.
Hi, this is Coach Sean McVay. Whose house? Rams house.
Let's get ready for kickoff.
We get you ready for kickoff right now on the Toyota Rams Countdown to Kickoff.
Driven by your Toyota dealers, official automotive partner of the Los Angeles Rams.
Now live from Cosm, Los Angeles, with Sua Cravens. Here's your host, Travis Rogers.
Beautiful Cosm, Los Angeles, where there are walls and walls of TV. I got NBA, I've got hockey, I've got playoff baseball, and of course we're going to have some NFL football coming up in just a little bit, the Rams and the Niners. So let's start with this. So this is going to be the Niners' third division game of the year. They've already played Arizona. They've already played Seattle. They won both of those games. This is the Rams' first division game of the year. Their schedule is kind of unusual that almost all of their division work is towards the end of the season. They'll play San Francisco again before they play Seattle or Arizona. What is so different about those divisional games? Obviously, you play them twice and you see them twice, but just the familiarity that kind of builds up after years and years, and especially when you have coaches that have been there a long time like McVay and Shanahan.
They're real rivalry games. They mean something. The atmosphere is different. The crowd is louder. That you're tackling harder. As much as, especially NFL guys, I got a lot of NFL friends that love to act like, every team, it's another game. This is a business. I'm a professional. This ain't college no more.
Yeah.
Until they play that team that's in their division that beats them every year.
Does it get personal?
It gets real personal.
Yeah.
And we've got friends on teams where I know guys that don't even talk. My best friend that was on the Packers wouldn't talk to one of my friends that was on the Bears or the Vikings whenever the season started. And we were Call of Duty friends, so we couldn't even play online because it was that serious. So, yes, these rivalry games, they're a lot different.
How about from the coach's perspective, as far as just look, Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan they were on the same staff for a while. Obviously, they've been on opposite staffs for a while, and they both got their head coaching opportunities. They've both been very successful. It felt like Shanahan kind of had the upper hand for a while until the Rams have beaten the Niners 3 times in a row, which has kind of swung the pendulum back a little bit. But just the familiarity of, I know what you like to do, I know what you don't like to do, and I'm obviously going to try to prevent you from one and force you into the other.
I think Shanahan was blessed with a Ferrari at a more ready time. He hit the ground running, and he was in the Super Bowl window almost immediately with his team. I think McVay kind of built his car from the ground up and is purring like we've never seen before. But both of these guys are younger coaches in the league that just have dynamic offenses, know how to get the ball to not just a playmaking running back or receiver. They get tight ends involved. They get the second, third, and sometimes fourth receiver involved. And they've made a somewhat of an act out of getting those tweener positions where if it's a guy who can play receiver and running back and just making it work no matter how. And hats off to both coaches.
The Morning Minute is presented by Quaker, the official oatmeal of the Los Angeles Rams. And obviously they're kicking off the entire week here. And kind of sticking with the Rams and the Niners here. And you mentioned McVay. You played for Sean McVay in Washington. What he was able to do, and I mention this at least once a year, but it bears repeating because it's in moments like this where I think it really comes home. The culture that he was able to create. And it was almost instantaneous. Like the culture under Jeff Fisher was one thing. And I'm not going to get into the bad. It just felt stale. It felt predictable, and it felt like there wasn't a lot of energy and winning associated with it. It was just an old-school NFL guy, been around a long time, who's just kind of going through the motions. McVay comes in and immediately just the dynamic, the intensity, the positivity that he brings. Could you see that the culture building, not just I'm going to put this receiver here and I'm going to make sure that this guy blocks that guy, but just the ability to create a culture when you were playing for?
Well, you said it. It's the positivity and the actual caring nature that he presents himself with, and it's not an act. That's just how he is. And when my rookie year, when he was on Washington with us or with me, he was a guy that you could talk to, even if you had nothing to do with the offense.
Yeah.
You don't score touchdowns. You were a trainer on the team. Coach McVay wasn't too big to approach or somebody that you couldn't talk to. He always would be talking to his team, seeing how guys are doing, just checking in, and then that goes a long way, especially for these guys who are not necessarily with their family. Coach McVay becomes family away from family.
And it's authentic, at least from the outside looking in, and seeing the way that he interacts with his players, seeing the way the post-game speeches that are on YouTube immediately following the game, and all of the way he'll make challenges to try to get guys sacks, even though they might not wear, like, you can tell it is authentic to that. And whether you love a guy, like a guy, or dislike a guy, if you know he's being real, everybody's going to line up behind that.
Yeah, and that's, again, it's not an act at all. I have personal experiences with Sean myself, where there was times where I played inside linebacker for the Redskins, and he'd come up to me and say, I thought you wanted to play safety. You play safety, right?
Yeah.
Next time our ones go grab a scout team jersey and don't listen to the card. Like, give Kirk a real look. And I'm like, dang, I don't talk to a coach like this, or I'm not a part of the game plan. Exactly. It makes me feel like, man, I want to do the extra mile. I want to do the extra steps. I want to be a better pro because a guy like that I'd run through a wall for.
All right, don't forget, you can order for pickup on Uber Eats at SoFi and skip the line so you don't miss any of the action down on the field. Use the code RAMS to get up to 40% off your next 3 stadium pickup orders of $25 or more. Terms do apply. Expire February 8, 2026. We're going to go back inside a SoFi Stadium. We're going to check in with the next member of the broadcast team, none other than the Super Bowl champion, DeMarco Farr. That comes up next on the Toyota Rams Countdown to Kickoff on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network. And Sue and I, we were talking about our Prize Picks, right? Here's what we got going on Prize Picks today. This is how easy it is to play Prize Picks. And when you sign up, when you download that app, make sure you use the code TRAV. And then when you play that first $5 lineup, they're going to give you $50 in lineups after you play that first $5 lineup. This is how easy it is. Matthew Stafford's stat projection today, 236.5 yards. Do you like more or less? We landed on more, right? Christian McCaffrey, 61.5 yards rushing, more or less? More. So that's it. We just inserted a Prize Picks lineup right there. You just pick more, you pick less, you get it right, you win money. It is awesome. But don't forget to use that code TRAV when you sign up at Prize Picks, where it is good to be right.
Ranch to ensure we have the healthiest fans in the league. That's why we're committed to delivering some of the freshest fruits and veggies to your door. And here's the best part. The first 100 boxes are on us. That's right. We're giving away the first 100 boxes. After that, enjoy 30% off on your first box upon signing up at www.bloomranchofacton.com and enter promo code ThankYouRams. There are no fans like Rams fans. Winning and getting healthier together is the real flex. So hurry, this offer won't last forever. Follow Bloom Ranch on IG and share how you're getting healthier using hashtag BloomRamFit.
Carl's Jr.'s the only place to get the classic Western Bacon Cheeseburger. Those onion rings, all that bacon, that tangy barbecue. Well, have you tangoed with spicy Western bacon? Can you ride out the jalapeno heat? Take a pepper jack punch. For a limited time, it's high time for a spicy Western reintroduction. Wrangle the best deals on the app. Only at Carl's Jr.
Available for a limited time. Exclusive app offers for registered My Rewards members only.
Coach, the energy out there felt different. What changed for the team today?
It was the new game day scratchers from the California Lottery. Players, everything. Those games sent the team's energy through the roof.
Are you saying it was the off-field play that made the difference on the field?
Hey, a little play makes your day, and today, it made the game. That's all for now.
Coach, one more question.
Play the new Los Angeles Rams scratchers from the California Lottery. A little play can make your day. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 years or older to purchase, play, or claim.
Some things are better live. That's why at Unifi Financial Credit Union, we staff our call center with live Unifi team members. So instead of this...
Sorry, there's no one available to take your call.
You get this.
This is John from Unifi. How are you today?
So whether you need to move money, open a credit card, or take out an auto loan, you can connect live with a Unifi team member in any state, 7 days a week. Unifi Financial Credit Union. Connect your way. Now the official credit union of the Los Angeles Rams. Unifi is an equal opportunity lender insured by NCUA.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Los Angeles International Airport's People Mover trains begin rolling early next year as part of LAX's ongoing investments to transform and improve your travel journey. The People Mover trains will quickly move guests between their terminals and our new consolidated rental car center, metro trains and buses, economy parking, and Kiss and Fly lot. The trains will make it simple and fast to get to your LAX destination in 10 minutes or less, and trains depart every 2 minutes beginning in early 2026. Learn more at lawa.org/ESPN.
Hey, Los Angeles, your Rams return home to SoFi Stadium on Sunday, November 2nd to host the Saints in a classic NFC West versus NFC South showdown. You can experience this game live from SoFi Stadium by visiting therams.com/NO. Again, that is therams.com/NO to see stars like Puka Nacua, Matthew Stafford, and Jared Verse battle Alvin Kamara and the Saints on Sunday, November 2nd at 1:05 p.m. Grab your tickets now, and we'll see you at the Rams house.
Hi, this is Matthew Stafford of the LA Rams, the home of Rams football. LA's mega sports station, 710 ESPN. Listen to every Rams game on the all-new ESPN LA app.
This is the Toyota Rams Countdown to Kickoff.
On your home of Rams football.
And we're counting you down to kick off Thursday Night Football tonight in L.A. SoFi Stadium, Rams Niners. Let's slay those stinking Niners. The NFC West foes and move to 4-1 on top of the NFC West. Let's do it tonight.
Hello, this is Puka Nacua of your L.A. Rams. Rams football is back.
You're listening to the Toyota Rams Countdown to Kickoff.
Driven by your Toyota dealers, official automotive partner of the Los Angeles Rams. We make it easy.
Once again,
live from Cosm, Los Angeles, with Sua Cravens.
Back to Travis Rogers.
Little Thursday night football action at SoFi Stadium tonight. The Niners in town to take on the Los Angeles Rams, a man who was a member of that rivalry for a very long time. none other than the Super Bowl champion DeMarco Farr, who will be on the sidelines for today's game. It's Niner Week. You've been saying it all week, DeMarco, and it's finally here. The hated 49ers are in the building.
It will never be over. I'm going to be that guy stranded on the island by himself saying the war's not over. I don't care. I'm taking this to the grave. Do you guys know red is my favorite color? It really is. I love red every day except for today. Can't stand that color. Makes me want to puke.
Is it as true as Trav has been trying to tell me that the 49ers fill out SoFi? Is that a true statement?
Oh, yeah. This whole stadium takeover thing has been a thing since the Rams came back. This is the last of it. This is part of the rivalry. It used to be what happens on the field with Rice, Young, Montana. They would outclass the Rams. They would embarrass the Rams. This is another way their fan base tries to embarrass us by taking over the stadium. So the only way to get these people out of here is to annihilate this football team. And I could care less if they're all banged up. I'm treating them as Super Bowl champions. So are the rest of this football. So is the rest of the Rams. They could care less about the injury report. It's all about the laundry. It's all about the uniform. It's all about playing your best game against your division rival. So whoever's out there in a Niner uniform, prepare to get hit.
All right, so let's talk about who's ever out there in a Rams uniform. We're talking with DeMarco Farr, will be on the sideline for today's game. No Rob Havenstein tonight, DeMarco. What does that do to the Rams and their offensive play calls? Does it change much, or does it just put a little bit more on Matthew Stafford's plate, having to know where pressure may come from?
Big Rob took it on the chin last week. Lot 2 gave him all he could handle. So, I mean, really cut him to pieces in and out. So I think you might want to – you could blame it on an injury. It could be just – letting Rob take the week off. But McClendon is the guy they drafted to be a replacement for Rob. Rob refuses to give the job up. But at some point, they're going to have to turn it over to McClendon. So this is your opportunity. And this is the best opportunity for him to get on the field in this rivalry because Bosa's not here. If Bosa was on the other side, I think Rob Havenstein would find a way to get healthy. Or they would find a way to get him healthy, to get him on the football field. So it has to start now for him. They said the light has come on. He has learned how to compete, talking about Warren McClendon. So we're going to need to see that tonight for them to be successful.
I asked JB, and he said he prefers to give Stafford the Kershaw send-off. Have him go and find a way to win a Super Bowl and let him ride off in the sunset no matter how he finishes the year. And I asked him because the way that Stafford's been playing, it looks like he's got some juice left in the tank. Do you still believe that this potentially is the last year for Stafford, or is he buying himself another year or two as the Rams quarterback?
Whoa, okay. Being the last year, I guess if I could write the story, yes. And I would have him have a send-off kind of like John Elway, running off into the tunnel after winning the Super Bowl with one finger in the air, like the number one, I am number one. That would be the great way to go out, but not everybody gets that. As far as being the end, I've never really asked him that. And he's never really talked about retirement. I don't think the word retirement has ever come out of his mouth. All he likes to do is play ball. So, and I've heard this from other coaches. Bill Parcells has said it, and I believe it. The minute you say retirement, you are retired. He hasn't said it yet. I think he's still enjoying what he's doing. So, I don't know.
Tell
like
Tom
Kershaw,
Brady that.
If he wants to come back, I bet he comes back. I don't know. But as of right now, all sights are on getting to Levi Stadium at the end of the year.
Here's what I do know, DeMarco, having watched some of the film where he looked off the safety and hit Adams with that touchdown at the end of the first half. I know he still loves being out there, and I know that he believes in what it is that he's doing, that his passion for the game is certainly at an all-time high.
You know, he still loves it. The look-off was great, and so you're a safety. When you get looked off like that and you get run off the screen, that's got to be embarrassing on Monday. I wish I could have been in the film room for that safety. Like, what were you doing? Coach, he looked me off. I know. Anyway. But look, it's not what he did on the play for the touchdown. It's what he did after, pointing to the sideline, yelling at them, talking about, don't look at me, do your job.
Don't look at me.
That's a dude that still loves to compete. That's a guy that still loves to win. Look, as long as his body holds out, he's still going to be on the field.
Are the Rams housing one of the best defensive lines in the NFL? Let's take out 2 more guys. Do the Rams have the best front 2 guys, like the top 2 combination? You got Young. You got Verse. I don't think there's too many old lines that can stop this 1-2 punch.
You know, I think they might have the best pair of bookends as far as edge guys in Jared Verse and Byron Young in the NFL. Look, at least for the first month, we got a long way to go. Byron Young has a long way to go. Jared Verse has a long way to go from here. But for this month, they've been absolutely dominant. And the guys in the middle, Kobe Turner, is a guy that has been doing double duty. He gets down and dirty on the rundowns and still has enough left for the passing downs to be a threat as a pass rusher. The guy I love the most, you know this, is Puna Ford. If you can get him to say more than 2 words a day, you've done something. All this guy does is think about tying up blocks and making tackles, which is perfect for a nose tackle. So I think this front has a chance to be one of the best. And I think it has a chance to ascend from here. And you got a big, stiff challenge today. Looking at McCaffrey right now, talking to him pregame, he feels like he can do this on his own. He feels like he can win this game for the Niners by himself. So that's going to be a stiff challenge for the defense, stiff challenge for this defensive line. But if it turns into an all-out passing game, I bet those edge rushers and those interior guys get to Mac Jones before he gets the ball off.
All right, let's talk about some of the keys to victory driven by your Toyota dealers, official automotive partner of the Los Angeles Rams. We make it easy. Let's go to the offensive side, DeMarco. What are some of the keys to make sure that the Rams look like they looked towards the end of the half last week and certainly what they look like in the fourth quarter?
Keep running the football like you run it with authority. Both guys, Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, they're doing a great job in the middle. They're doing a great job running the football. The offensive line, especially in run blocking, is doing a great job. Now, like you said, you're going to be down Rob Havenstein, but that cannot stop the train. So run the football, keep your third down short, and make sure you don't call a quarterback sneak ever again. ever again. That's number one. On the defensive side, like I said, you got to get after McCaffrey. Treat him the same way you treated Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor. Bottle him up and make the 49ers have to throw to beat you and then get after him. And on special teams, Tim Wakefield at place kicker, or at least your kickoff man, with the knuckleballs. The 49ers are just horrendous on special teams. I think they have the worst starting field position of any team in the NFL. So make sure you keep that going and make them go the long route to beat you.
Yeah, I like that you went Wakefield. Personally, I would have gone with one of the Necro brothers, but I understand the sentiment. It is a very good job. You got it, DeMarco. All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Good job.
Oh, Travis, I'm already at 6 miles, by the way.
Oh, I'm way ahead. I'm going to send you my stats right now.
Let's go.
Ahead.
Come on.
You'll catch me by the end of the day because you got to run up and down the sidelines. But I have an early first quarter lead on you, my friend.
Well, you have until tomorrow, 3 p.m. There we go.
There you go. I will go to work. All right, that's DeMarco Farr. He'll be on the sidelines coming up in just about 45 minutes from right now. Don't forget, you can order for pickup on Uber Eats at SoFi Stadium and skip the line so you don't miss any of the action. Use the code RAMS to get up to 40% off your next 3 stadium pickup orders at $25 or more. Terms do apply. Expires February 8th, 2026. We'll talk about some of those special teams. There's some interesting stuff going on. More kickoff returns than we've seen in decades in the NFL. That's coming up next on the Toyota Rams Countdown to Kickoff on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
Hey, it's Rams Super Bowl champion DeMarco Farr. The Rams do this really cool pick'em that's powered by Pechanga Resort Casino, where today they ask you, how many receiving yards will Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams combine for? 0 to 35, 36 to 70, 71 to 105, or more. If you love football, you should play the Rams Pick'em. You can play now at therams.com/pick'em. Predict what will happen during the Rams season for your chance to win game tickets, sign merchandise, and more, powered by Pechanga Resort Casino.
Play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, official California gaming and casino partner of the Los Angeles Rams.
Hey, it's Mace. College football is back, and there's no better place to catch every heart-pounding moment than Cosm. This isn't just a sports bar. It's your front row pass to the future of fandom. Feel the tackles, the touchdowns, and game day glory like never before with Cosm's shared reality displays. Step into the dome, an immersive 3-level experience that puts you right on the field, or rally with your friends in the hall where every game is on all at once. Don't just watch college football, live it. Get your tickets now at Cosm.com. I'll see you there.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. If you're ready to upgrade your driving experience, you gotta go and check out what's happening at Cadillac and their incredible new lineup of state-of-the-art EVs, sedans, and SUVs. And hey, look, there's no better place to experience the luxury of Cadillac than at Cadillac of Beverly Hills. Check out Cadillac of Beverly Hills and their beautiful showroom at 8767 Wilshire Boulevard in Beverly Hills. And check them out on the web at CadillacBeverlyHills.com.
The Lake Show lives here.
You know, there should be no excuse why we can't make things happen on the fly.
LeBron for the dunk.
Thought I told you time
time and time again that we won't stop.
Lakers basketball is back. LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and the purple and gold hit the desert for preseason Game 1.
Three-pointer by Luka. That's good.
Lakers Suns. The preseason starts Friday night. Coverage begins at 5:30 p.m.
Your Lakers, your season, your home. ESPN LA. 710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
Money all the time, what I'm thinking. $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays are back. Presented by Pechanga Resort Casino.
Listen every Monday during football season
to the Sedano and Cap Morning Show, Mason and Ireland, and the DeMarco and Travis Afternoon Show.
All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
$1 Million Mondays presented by Pechanga Resort Casino. Play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino.
When it comes to food, the DeMarco and Travis Afternoon Show doesn't mess around.
Have you ever fallen asleep at a restaurant?
Fallen asleep.
Fallen asleep, not passed out.
Okay,
fallen
now that you clarified a little bit, I have never fallen asleep at a restaurant.
Never had food coma.
No,
never
there's
had to put your
food,
head down.
and I'm having a good time. No.
From food comas to football, buffets to baseball, DeMarco and Travis are the perfect recipe for your afternoon drive.
We used to take over all you-can-eat places and stay there all day. Yeah,
you
it was
can
a
do
food
that?
hack. Like $8, we'd eat all day, literally.
Whether you're at work, on the road, or recovering from your own food coma, hang out with the guys.
Crushing Kung Pao chicken all day long.
All day. Find the booth, lean over, get some sleep, wake up, eat some more.
Mongolian beef.
Right.
Again.
Right. Bring it around again.
Another round, please.
Yes,
Cashew
all day.
chicken.
The DeMarco and Travis Afternoon Show, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on 710 ESPN, the ESPN LA app, and on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles.
Hi, this is Devontae Adams of your LA Rams, the home of Rams football. LA's mega sports station, 710 ESPN. Listen to every Rams game on the all-new ESPN LA app.
Counting you down to Week 5 Thursday Night Football in Inglewood.
Touchdown, LA!
Hi, this is Jeff Weiss of your LA Rams. The Rams play here.
You're listening to the Toyota Rams Countdown to Kickoff.
The Rams, the 49ers.
And we're counting you down to kickoff Rams Niners. The fearsome Rams defense has to keep it coming. Bring the heat on those stinking San Francisco 49ers.
Ready to sling it again here. Heaves from his heels. Jump ball. Picked again! Cam Curl calls game!
Tonight, in primetime, the hated ones come to town. Counting you down to Week 5 Thursday Night Football in Inglewood.
Driven by your Toyota dealers, official automotive partner of the Los Angeles Rams. We make it easy.
Once again, live from Cosm, Los Angeles, with Sua Cravens.
Back to Travis Rogers.
Rams and Niners kickoff coming up in 35 minutes from right now. JB Long will have all of the play-by-play action coming up in just a little bit. Both these teams are at 3-1. The Niners are 2-0 in the NFC West. This is the first game for the Rams inside their own division. Sua, let me ask you something. Carl's Jr. is the only place where you can get the Western Bacon Cheeseburger. But have you, Sua Cravens, tangoed with the jalapeno and pepper jack cheesy spicy Western Bacon?
I have.
You did it,
and it was so hot.
There you go. Was it creamy?
It was so creamy.
Yeah, there you go. It's hot and creamy. That's what it is, and it's spicy too. So I'm glad that you finally got a chance to tango.
It was wonderful. Tangled with it.
This is exciting. Now each week we can talk about your tango with the hot and creamy spicy Western Bacon Cheeseburger.
I loved it.
Absolutely. All right. How about this for a number? The most kickoff returns in the history of the NFL after 4 weeks, okay? Nearly 79% of NFL kickoffs are being returned right now because of that.
The rule.
That 35-yard touchback, coaches went, you know what, I'm not going to give you that extra 5. At 30, they were kicking out of the back of the end zone. The Rams in particular have done a really good job. DeMarco just called Josh Carty Tim Wakefield because he hits kind of that knuckleball that lands at around the 15-yard line. Who knows how it's going to bounce? You don't really get a running start on some of these because you got to be careful about how you field it. The Rams have taken advantage of the fact that kickoff returns are now back in the NFL.
The Rams have seemed to have mastered it. I see the Cowboys with Aubrey. They're starting to do it as well, and it creates an advantage for your defense. Yeah, when you force a team to start a drive on the 17 or the 15, that's so much different than the 35.
It's 2 extra first downs.
It is. That's 2 extra first downs. Extends the drive. It takes about 2 to 4 minutes additional off a clock. Like, you can get an offense in a backed-up situation to start the game. You're basically giving your defense a free possession.
Yeah, and it's brought that play back to the league. That for the longest time, guys, you just booted out of the back of the end zone, and then it was at the 20. And then they said, okay, nobody's doing it. We'll move it to the 25. And then they didn't want the long runs with the collisions. But it feels like they finally found a way with the staggered kickoff, with the fact that you have to return it if it lands in that go area, unless you want to risk it rolling into the end zone, which it may or may not. They found a way to make an exciting play out of a play that was basically dead for years.
You've also forced teams to be accountable now. Now players have to be smart. They got to be situationally aware. They can make a mistake in crunch time if you scored late in the game.
Yep.
Like, there's a lot of factors now that teams have to consider that you might have not even thought about a year or two ago.
All right, don't forget you can order for a pickup on Uber Eats at SoFi Stadium and skip the line so you don't miss any of the action. Use the code RAMS to get up to 40% off your next 3 stadium pickup orders of $25 or more. Terms apply. Expires February 8th, 2026. So here are some other numbers, and this is a good way to do our Prize Picks preview, powered every week by Prize Picks. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy with Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and play Prize Picks. It's good to be right. So the Prize Picks number for Matthew Stafford is 236.5 yards through the air. You and I both think that that's likely to be more than. If it's less than, is that actually a good sign for the Rams because they have a lead and they can run the ball and just keep feeding Kyren Williams and Blake Corum?
Yeah, I think the only way it's less than is because this game got out of hand quick. The defense made a few plays. Maybe special teams got them a short field a few times, and Kyren Williams and Blake Corum were just taking chunk after chunk.
Yeah, if that went under, I think that's actually a good news for the Rams. But these games are always tight. I think they're going to have to push the ball down the field. Coming up next, we're going to give you our final thoughts of the day. That's next on the Toyota Rams Countdown to Kickoff on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
The We Make It Easy sales event is here. So now's the best time for a great deal on a new Toyota. Choose from the biggest selection of the year with the biggest savings. Drive home the all-hybrid Camry with its striking design, a trail-conquering Tacoma 4x4, or an adventurous RAV4. So hurry into your Toyota dealer. The time to drive home your new Toyota is here. We make it easy. Toyota. Let's go places.
Hey, it's me, your heart valve. The blood flowy thing in your heart. Ooh, hear that? The whole stadium's cheering for heart valve screenings? Detecting heart valve disease is super important, especially if you're over 65. It's deadly if you don't treat it. That's right. Boo! Heart valve disease! Boo! Good news is, early detection saves lives. Go to listentoyourvalves.com and get screened for heart valve disease. Oh, and go Rams!
You never know what will happen next on the Sedano and Cap Morning Show.
If you need me, I'll be over here doing play-by-play. Anyway.
Sedano brings the insight, Cap brings the chaos, and somehow it all works.
Stafford back. Stafford looking to his left. Now looks to his right. Stafford hits Davis Allen. No, that wasn't the one either. That was not the right play either. No, that was not the right play.
How about this? Just trust JB and me and MJD. How about that?
Yeah, that's Cappy, giving you Rams play-by-play that literally nobody asked for. And poor Sedano's just trying to keep the show on the rails.
Here's another play to the tight end. This one to Kobe Parkinson. Okay, no.
How about Cappy? Let's just go.
I'm doing play-by-play over here.
I get it.
Should you need me, I'll be
on
over
a
here.
game that's already happened, though.
Real sports talk, big laughs, and then Cap doing whatever that was. The Sedano and Cap Morning Show, weekdays 7 to 9 a.m. on 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app, and the YouTube-only hour from 9 to 10 a.m.
No. How about Cappy? Let's just go.
Hi, this is Kobe Turner of your LA Rams, the home of Rams football, LA's mega sports station, 710 ESPN. Listen to every Rams game on the all-new ESPN LA app.
Counting you down to Week 5, Thursday Night Football in Inglewood. The Rams, the 49ers.
This is the Toyota Rams Countdown to Kickoff.
Driven by your Toyota dealers, official automotive partner of the Los Angeles Rams. We make it easy.
Our 3-1 Rams host the 3-1 Niners. Make some noise tonight at SoFi.
We count you down to kickoff, and remember, you can hear every moment of the game tonight on the all-new ESPN LA app. Listen to the Rams in crystal clear digital audio. Just download the ESPN LA app in your app store or Google Play. Download, tap, bam! Then you click the Rams game day tile, and you've got Rams football in your ear.
Once again live from Cosm, Los Angeles with Sua Cravens. Back to Travis Rogers.
Quick little baseball playoff update before we send it off to the guys to get you ready for the Rams and the Niners. The Cubs with a 3-run lead, 3-0, bottom of the 8th inning at Wrigley Field. So the San Diego Padres down to their final 3 outs. So we'll see if they have to chase down more than 3 runs by the time that they do it. Let's get to the Rams injury report, which is brought to you by ESPN LA and
accident or injury. Call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
No Rob Havenstein today, no Tyler Higbee today, Sue. What does that change about how the Rams attack on offense?
Going to have to get the ball out quick. Might maybe not be able to take a lot of shots in the first half when you're trying to develop what they're doing on defense. Once you get a diagnosis and make your adjustments, feel free to drop bombs.
Yeah, and they've been pushing the ball down the field. We talked about this earlier. They've got 59 plays at 10 yards or more. That's number 1 in the NFL, so I'd expect a little bit more of that. And, of course, we'll talk a little bit about that Rams defense. And Rams fans, El Torito is offering free nachos when your Los Angeles Rams successfully make a 4th down stop. So get loud. This is Nacho First Down. Visit therams.com/rewards for more details. We've seen them get after the quarterback really week after week. Byron Young, we talked about, he leads the league in sacks. Jared Verse is still doing what Jared Verse does. But what about the back end of that Rams defense? JB mentioned it. We were talking with him that, at cornerback, do they have enough talent to go back to the Super Bowl? The trade deadline is coming up sooner than later. Do they have the right guys in the back end of that defense, or are you going to have to see guys get better or go find different players?
They have the right guys at safety. I trust them at safety. I think their biggest concern is corner, and there are a few guys out there that can play the corner position that could come in. I don't know if the Rams will spring for those guys and bring them in, but I think especially going down as the season progresses and you're going to play a bunch of receivers that get the ball a ton, you're going to need that one lockdown corner.
That's the thing I keep coming back, and you start to look around who the other better teams in the league might be. You think about Amon-Ra St. Brown in Detroit. You think about A.J. Brown in, obviously, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith in Philadelphia. Mike Evans in Tampa. Like, these are the teams that they have guys that's like, all right, do we have a guy that can – I'm not saying you can ever erase those guys because they're too good of players, but can you make them really have to work for it? Because we saw what those Philadelphia guys could do when all of a sudden they flipped that switch, and the Rams just didn't have an answer for that.
With this young secondary, if it's a team that has one guy on the outside, I'm not as worried because you can game plan to stop one guy and force a tight end or a young guy or third-string receiver to beat you. But when you play these teams that have 2 number ones, like you just said, the Lions, they got Jameson and Amon-Ra. Yep. The Eagles, they got Devontae and A.J. It's hard, and that's when you need at least one lockdown DB to where you can trust to man up one of those guys so you can dedicate the safety to the other.
Don't forget, you can order for pickup on Uber Eats at SoFi Stadium and skip the line so you don't miss any of the action. Use the code RAMS to get up to 40% off your next 3 stadium pickup orders of $25 or more. Terms apply. Expires February 8th, 2026. Here's who the Niners do not have tonight. No Brock Purdy, no Nick Bosa, no George Kittle, no Jawan Jennings, no Pearsall. How much CMC are we going to see tonight, knowing that all of those guys are not there? McCaffrey.
There's a prize picks over under 25 touches. McCaffrey, I said more. So
yeah,
at least 25 touches, I think.
Does it make it a little easier knowing that he's the one real true weapon that they have on that side of the ball coming into this one?
Yes and no, because then you might crowd the box and think, we got him. We're going to put him here, and then they'll just put him at the slot receiver and say, okay, what do you got for this? So you got to be able to game plan for both. He's versatile, and he's a running back that can play receiver and a receiver that can play running back.
That when they put him in the slot like that, that's a bad matchup for everybody in the league. He's so fast. He's such a good route runner. Like you said, it's not just a running back that you're trying to sneak out in there. He can run routes like a receiver.
Lost the Pac-12 championship to this man, so know what he can do firsthand.
So
not fun.
How do you try to make him work for it just a little bit more?
It's not a one-man job. It's 2 people, especially when he goes into that slot position. You know he's going to run a route out the backfield or out that slot position. Don't put an inside linebacker on him thinking you got it done. I wouldn't even put a safety on him thinking that he's okay. You want a DB body on him, but outside leverage, funnel him back to your inside help. You got to. That's the only way of stopping him.
He can still move.
He can.
Yeah, like that. That's not a plodding guy. That's a guy that can really, really move, and he's the guy that could be the difference between what happened. We've seen many times, and all of a sudden this line jumped up to 8.5 from 3.5 just in the short period. A lot of that can get neutralized by Christian McCaffrey today at SoFi Stadium. But the Rams looking at their first NFC West matchup of the season. Both these teams at 3-1. It should be a fantastic game coming up in just a little bit. We're going to go inside SoFi. We're going to send it to JB Long and the Super Bowl champ, DeMarco Farr. They're going to have all of the play-by-play action coming up next. That'll be on the Toyota Rams Countdown to Kickoff on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
When it comes to unique experiences, pick Tick Pick. You're picking the official fan experience partner of the Los Angeles Rams with no hidden fees ever. So pick Tick Pick for your chance.
Ongoing investments to transform and improve your travel journey. The People Mover trains will quickly move guests between their terminals and our new consolidated rental car center, metro trains and buses, economy parking, and Kiss and Fly lot. The trains will make it simple and fast to get to your LAX destination in 10 minutes or less, and trains depart every 2 minutes beginning in early 2026. Learn more at lawa.org/ESPN.
Hey, Los Angeles, your Rams return home to SoFi Stadium on Sunday, November 2nd to host the Saints in a classic NFC West versus NFC South showdown. You can experience this game live from SoFi Stadium by visiting therams.com/NO. Again, that is therams.com/NO to see stars like Puka Nacua, Matthew Stafford, and Jared Verse battle Alvin Kamara and the Saints on Sunday, November 2nd at 1:05 p.m. Grab your tickets now, and we'll see you at the Rams house.
You can tell Halloween is near